Good evening, Raiders. So, I'm going to take on a fight here, Nordik, I believe that's how he's pronounced. This is going to be the Guild Raid Hell fight specifically. So, I'm going to hit him up for the guild. I'm just going to showcase the fight, explain a few mechanics, and go over this. So for Nordic here, he's very much anti-magic, so if you're running a magic comp, it's strongly recommended you let your physical players fight him, or players that have both physical and magic who can build effective teams. I use a mix of both, and I'm going to show why that is. But for Nordic here in Hell, a couple things to watch out for. Magic Shield's not a big deal if you're running a physical comp because you'll just break it in like a second if you're doing high damage. It comes off pretty quick, so you don't have to really worry about that mana absorption. It does have immunity to magic damage, so if you are running a magic comp in this fight, make sure you have a Dispel. He's got the knockback laser, which is just deals a bunch of damage and is kind of annoying, makes you stutter the whole time the laser's going off, which lowers damage output. Mana Tempest, this attack's done much more rarely, but it's when he goes up into the sky. This attack I find to be quite a bit stronger than the laser. Since it targets at random targets, it does have a chance to go off several times on, say, your DPS. Has a chance to knock them out entirely, so want to watch out for that. So just high defenses can usually help get through that. Every time he attacks with magic damage, he'll silence and you take damage. You can't really stop the damage part, but you can stop the silence by using CC resist or using a CC immunity. And then here in Hell mode, this is unique to the Hell mode. I don't think this is in the lower difficulties. But every 30 seconds, he will remove all effects and he gets a temporary attack speed increase. So that's just some stuff we have to deal with in the fight. As for my team comp here, I'm going to be using Loman, Celine, Shea, and Lavril. So, Loman here, main tank, heavily built into magic defense, magic block, a little bit of M dodge. Loman specifically is more geared towards tanking magic damage, so I have him slotted specifically with M toughness in the weapon. I don't have any P tough. I almost exclusively use him for magic fights. I don't really fight much physical things with him. For the perks here, we're going to go with this perk set. I am giving up the T1 perks for the more frequent shield. Because I'm not particularly too worried about the damage he takes. I'm more concerned of my backline. So giving up a little bit of his tankiness so he can cast shields more often is going to be helpful in this instance. There is only one enemy, so we are going to be running the Pumpkin Stuck Evil Ghost. Gives a little bit of extra HP, helps make up for dropping that T1 perk, and gives some extra attack to the whole team. Celine, she's going to be the main DPS here. Because this is Hell mode, you do want a lot of penetration. For the lower difficulties, you can kind of stick to that soft cap 450. For like hard and lower for damage increase. When you get to the Hell difficulty, the enemies do have pretty high defense, so I do actually recommend going with high penetration. This is even with a character like Celine, who deals some defense ignoring damage. Still, for Celine, a lot of her damage output is from her non-defense ignoring attacks, so you still need the penetration, even with a character like Celine. So that's my recommendations here. I run UT2. May not necessarily be the best, but that's the UT I'm invested in. These are the perks I'll be running. So over time, I'll get more crit damage, get a little extra crit and crit damage. That'll cap me to the 100% crit rate with the priest perk. I do lose 300 crit, but I get back 300 crit from her S4 stacks, so after she's attacked like 3 times, she basically has max crit. So, running Celine, she's pretty straightforward. She's actually a very simple character. There's no real trick to using her. It's mostly just spam S2 as much as you can. That's where the bulk of your damage is going to come from. Now, here's where I get to my magic members. So I am running Shay, is 5-star Shay, so I am going to be able to full rotate all 3 of her skills. And I will be doing that throughout the entirety of the fight. I do have her with 100% CC resist with her T5 light, which gives an extra 100. So I have 1030, which will give me the 100%. So Shay's going to be completely immune to CC resist, so she's not going to take any of the silences herself. Now I am going to be trancing S2, so I am going to give CC immunity to the whole team. And the reason I want to do that is, one, it protects Lavril, because she deals magic damage. I don't want her being silenced. And also, it allows Celine to continue to DPS during the laser beam and the knockdown attack that the boss does. I want as much uptime on damage dealing as much as possible. So that's why we're going to be trancing S2 for the CC immunity. These are the perks. Lavril's going to have the crit perk, so I don't have to worry about that. So I run the attack speed perk, dex speed for the S2 that I'm using. Mana regen, that's kind of something just Shay needs. You're going to need a lot of mana regen. I have 4 lines on gear and 3 lines on my UTs, so that's where we will get her mana regeneration. And for Lavril here, perks, going to be running the crit. I don't need the magic damage amps from S1 or S3. I don't really care about her using those too much. She'll use them through the fight. I'm just going to have her on auto. I'm not going to be doing too much with her. I just hold off on her at first until I make sure that I had the CC immunity. Then I cast S2. And then just let her auto from there. She'll just keep S2 up on my Celine for increasing Celine's attack and crit damage throughout the fight. And the more times that Lavril gets hit, she increases the attack of Celine throughout the fight. So that's why I'm bringing her. I've experimented with some other heroes, and this has so far yielded the highest damage output for my current setup. So that's the team comp here, and let's go ahead and give this a rip. Alright, so you start with Shay S2, because you want to trance it when you go around the rotation. Up the speed a bit, just to make this go a little smoother. Now I got the CC immunity, so I'm going to turn Lavril on. At this point, I just kind of take it easy. I'm not too concerned about any optimal rotations or anything. I just got to keep Shay's rotation going, so I'm just manually doing that with my hand. So, just going to let the fight take its course. So, enjoy the show. I'll have a few things to say once the fight's over.
I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Use of I will protect you. Rush forth. Heroes of protect you. May the pain end. Time to run. Gush forth. Nowhere to hide. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. Protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. Protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of blessing. I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of I will protect you. May the pain end. Gush forth. Years of I will protect you. May the pain end. Sorry, everyone.
Alright, so fight went pretty smooth there. I think that's actually a new high score for me personally. So pretty happy about that actually. I probably could get higher if I took the time to manual every hero, but that requires a lot of concentration, and Shay already takes enough concentration. If you watched closely throughout the fight, I did alternate my Shay pattern a little bit as far as like which skill I was channeling. I did try to channel S2s as long as I could for getting mana to everybody to keep Loman and Celine using skills as much as possible. But near the end of the fight, the boss does start to deal quite a bit more damage, so I was trying to channel the S1 a little more longer to keep everyone's health up, specifically Loman's. So always got to be a little flexible, just kind of adjust throughout the fight. But that is Nordik. Hope the tips help. I'm going to be making more videos like this to guide over different battles. A lot of this will be at the higher difficulty stuff because I pretty much fight almost exclusively hell difficulty stuff. Here in Guild Raid we fight hell. For CRs I go all the way up to the hell difficulties, so I'll be doing videos on those throughout the coming days, coming weeks, and so on. So if this is the kind of content you like, if you like hearing me explain stuff or have any suggestions on videos you'd like to see or content you want explained, I am more than willing. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.